Hey, Chloe, guess what? Andor starts tonight. Are you pumped? Me too. Okay, I'll grab the popcorn. You grab the drinks, okay? Oh, you gotta grab Skittles too? You are the bomb. Okay, girl, let's go check it out. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's big time. Thank you guys for joining me again this week. We're finally back with some new Star Wars. This show's been the talk of the town for a long time. Ever since Kenobi ended, this is all everyone's been talking about. We've been excited to see what they're going to do, how the story's going to unfold. There's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff hinging on this one for Disney, so I'm hoping it's good. So, of course, the show is Andor, and this is a prequel to Rogue One. So everyone loved Rogue One for the most part. I loved it. I know some people had a problem with aspects of it, but I thought it was pretty enjoyable. But this show picks up before Rogue One happens, so I'm sure we're going to see a lot of the characters that came through Rogue One. For me, there are three characters we've got to talk about this time. Goes without saying, Cassian Andor is definitely going to be the main character of this show. So last time we saw Andor was in Rogue One, and it didn't quite end as well as he'd hoped, but I think this show is going to track his journey leading up to that. So I'm hoping we get to see a lot of like espionage, a lot of secret stuff, secret society stuff happening, and to flesh out his backstory a little bit more. We have an idea of who he is and what he represents, but we're going to find out how he got there this time. So we saw his ending in Rogue One. We're going to see the beginnings and how he ended up there in this show, which should make for a pretty interesting show. Ultimately, he sacrifices himself for the Death Star plans, but how did he get there? And what was the road like getting there? And we're going to see that in full glory in this show, and I'm really excited to see that. And of course, Mon Mothma is going to make an appearance. You know, she showed up way back in the OG trilogy. Major role to play there. She played a role in Rogue One, and in this show, we're going to flesh that out even further. So in Andor, she's serving the Imperial Senate, but apparently she's living a double life. So that should be very interesting to see how she's moving between both worlds. So that's going to be a very interesting side story there. You know, Andor's going to be the main, but we're going to have side quests happening at the same time, like always in these stories. So her side quest should be very, very interesting. And then they're bringing your boy back, Saw Gerrera. Forrest Whitaker played him so good in Rogue One. It's going to be good to see it. I know Forrest is coming back for this show, so he's going to continue playing the role. He did a great job in it, you know. So the character actually showed up in Clone Wars, then, of course, Rogue One. So Saw's a rebel who actually split off from the main rebel branch because he was just too extreme. He was too out there for them. And, of course, we saw in Rogue One, he died due to his extremism, but boy, did he leave a message for them. Like, his story up until the very end was just deadly. He's definitely a guy you do not want to cross, and he showed them in Rogue One, and I'm hoping we get to see his character evolve leading up to Rogue One. So that's going to be another great side quest story that we're going to be paying attention to. So in Rogue One, you know, he was able to get the plans to Jyn Erso to let them know what the Death Star plans were looking like and to get that secret to the bigger rebellion. And that information is what led the rebels to understanding how to defeat the Death Star. So that was a huge moment in the history of the rebels, and definitely Saw Gerrera was a main player in that game. So I'm very curious to see how his character evolves and leads up to Rogue One. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening in this show. I'm hoping it's going to be a really nice story for us to sink our teeth in, to sit back and enjoy. It's not going to be your typical Star Wars story, so I'm not going to go into it thinking like that. We probably won't see any Jedi. I'm ready for the ride. I'm going to throw all of my expectations out the window. I'm just going to try to enjoy this as a fan, just to be entertained. I'm not going to look at it with my super nerdy glasses or super nerdy eyes at all, because when you do that, you tend to you don't enjoy it as much. I'm just going to go into this with open arms, open mind, and just enjoy myself. So I'm ready to check this out. Let's go, guys. Oh, nice shot. That's the logo. Man, that's dope. I love that. That is super clean. Orlana 1. Huh. Corporate zone. Battle of Yavin. Nice touch there, Disney. I like how dark this is looking here. This is, I like what I see so far. What is this, the red light district? Wow, this is giving me the vibe. You remember that Tron movie that came out a few years ago? I loved it, but it's giving me that vibe.
Oh, you picked a great night.
I like this.
Quiet this evening. I've heard of it.
This soundtrack is dope.
It's not your girlfriend or something, is it?
Uh-oh. Right there. This can't be good. Nice shot. Uh-oh. Ah, look at the blaster. Whoa. What the hell? You killed him. I knew it. Oh, damn. You got to take him out, too.
You didn't mean it. He fell.
Well, I don't know if he's at that point yet.
We had a misunderstanding.
If he's that savage yet. Okay, shit just got real. Wow. This dude does not fuck around. Okay. Okay. Now we know what we're dealing with here. Okay, this is... Guys, I'm liking this so far. Oh yeah, I'm locked in, guys. I like this. That was totally unexpected. I didn't think he was gonna do that. What kind of droid is that? Oh. He's like, get the fuck. Kind of reminds you of that junkyard that Rey was scavenging in the sequel trilogy. Force Awakens.
Cassian.
This must be like way out on the outer rim. Wait, are they survivors? Those droids are invaluable. Like they always come in clutch.
Brasso wasn't looking.
Listen to me. It's important. I know it takes a lot of energy, but
he was spilling all the beans.
I can lie.
Wow, I wonder what are they mining there? Oh, an Imperial sign. Are those the plants or a part of them? That's definitely significant. Ah. Okay, so he finds it here in this wreck. Wow, that kind of... Is that a sword or a saber that he's got there?
Within all of you.
This guy sucks. Exactly. This guy.
And justice to us all.
Yeah. Yeah. So enthusiastic. Inspiring. Get them. That was so weak. Got him.
Drop the weapon.
Oh boy's got an anchor attached to the ship. Woo! He's out of here. Dude bit off more than he can chew. Nice. Nice ship. Okay, I got a lot to say about this one. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, but let's discuss what we just saw. So stand by. Okay, so the first 3 episodes are in the books, and I definitely got to say right off of the bat, this is such a different take on the Star Wars we all know and love. I really enjoyed it overall. Had some problems, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but overall, I think I did enjoy it. It kind of fell short of what I was anticipating, even though my expectations were pretty low. There's still a couple of issues that I saw with it, of course, but overall, good experience for the first 3 episodes. This is our introduction to the new world, and I was pleased. The first thing that jumps right out at me is that this is definitely a slow burn series. This is going to take a prolonged amount of time to tell the full story, because if you think about it, the scope of the story is immense. This is a huge story. This is the birth of the rebellion as we know and love it. So there's a lot of stories to be told, a lot of details that you have to provide. So it's definitely going to be a slow burn. The second episode kind of dipped a little to me. There are certain parts of it that dragged. First episode was great. Second episode dragged. Third episode was great as well. So this is going to be a long, long process. You got to be in for the long haul on this one. There's none of that explosive, short attention span theater where you're just getting stuff left and right all over the place. This is going to be a true story, a true sci-fi epic story that's going to unfold in front of us. Immediately, 3 episodes in, I can already tell this is definitely going to be better than Book of Boba Fett. That's not saying much, but because Book of Boba Fett was on some mid, this is going to be better than that, I think. And at the very beginning, Disney gave us a little jewel, the BBY-5 reference there. So that means that this is 5 years before the Battle of Yavin, which means the Battle of the Death Star. Another thing that jumped out at me was the droid. Disney has such a knack for giving us droids that are like, you can kind of feel the emotion, even though they're Android devices. They kind of feel like people, little people. And there's no change with this one. This guy, I can't remember his name. I really like this droid. He had his own personality. He and Andor are pretty tight. So I hope we get more of him. Let me back up a second here. So first episode, I thought it was really good. I loved the look of it, the feel, that gritty, dark, down in the gutter vibe. I really liked that. So the first episode was really good. And, going into it, I kind of expected they were going to do a lot of exposition. They're going to kind of like set the stage, show us the characters involved, talk about how these characters are going to make a difference, where they're going to go, all that good stuff. So going into it, I kind of expected that. So first episode, I knew that was going to happen. Second episode, it kind of bogged down for me. It was a little too heavy in the exposition, in my opinion. A lot of dragged on storylines, a lot of exposition, and it just felt like a lot of waste of time for me. Sure, the first episode, you got to set the stage, you set the tone, but you got to make it bang. They didn't make it bang. I mean, it started out pretty good, but then it just fell off in the second episode. So I don't know what that was about. Third episode kind of picked it back up again, but this story is like an original story. It's kind of like departed a little bit from the main storyline of Star Wars. They kicked it off with that BBY-5 reference, which was great. The Battle of Yavin, that was a nice little touch there. And the visuals and everything in the first episode, the lighting, the rainy atmosphere, the darkness, the brooding mood, that was really cool. I really liked that. It was nice. It was nice to see the greedy aspect of life in the galaxy. We hadn't seen that yet. So it was really cool to see that. The cinematography was fantastic. I really loved the way they shot everything. The shadows and the lighting in their faces and play. It was all great. All that was great stuff. One thing I will say, though, is that the CGI was fantastic. They spent a lot of cash in that CGI. You can tell it was really good. I really like the CGI. So with this new look that Andor's presenting, the dark, gritty, grounded look, I love it. And the CGI is just phenomenal. I wonder, are we witnessing the birth of Star Wars 2.0? Are we headed into new territory, guys? Is that where we're going? Are we watching the redefining of Star Wars? Is that what we're about to see? I don't know. I don't think any of us can answer that question, but I'm definitely enjoying the possibilities that this show can take us to whole new heights. So I can't wait to see where we end up on this show. And once this show is done, I would definitely like to either take a step forward in time to go beyond the Empire, the New Order, all of that stuff to sort of experience new things on that side of the timeline. But I'd also like to go backwards to take a look at some of those old Republic stories. There's some good ones there. There's a lot of good stuff back there that they can definitely explore, and I would love to see it. So we don't have to stay in the Skywalker era. We've explored that. There's a lot of untapped storylines there that I'm sure they're going to get to, but I think there's a lot more potential for things to be explored in the far future and in the far past. I hope they go to either one. I would really like to see that. But as far as Andor goes, I'm loving this cyberpunk-ish vibe. It's dope. I like it. The first episode was great. Second episode dropped a little bit. Third episode was great. So I think this was a great shot for the intro, and I am intrigued to see where we go from here. Well, all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. For all of you new folks, if you've enjoyed the video, subscribe, like, comment, stick around. Check out some of my other videos. We've got quite a few good Star Wars videos up as well. And to my subscribers, thank all of you. I am so appreciative of each and every one of you. I thank all of you for commenting, sticking around, interacting, and also thank you so much for the subscriber requests, all of the video requests you guys have wanted me to do reactions to. Thank you so much for those. I'll be getting back to those shortly. I've missed them. I'm sure you have as well. I'll definitely be coming back to those. So until next time, my friends, may the force be with you.